Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial, a very simple one, just demonstrating how you can add or display another view controller on top of the current view. I'm going to be demonstrating this in the iPad SDK. For the most part, it'll work in the iPhone SDK as well. Just the iPhone SDK, you can only present a model view in full screen. See, in the iPad, you can present these just by taking a partial screen. So go into Xcode. I have a view-based application loaded already, and I've called it Modal View Controller. So yeah, let's get started. First off, we need to create a view controller that's actually going to be presented on top of the original view controller. So targeted for iPad. If you're using the iPhone SDK, you don't have to, don't worry about targeted for iPad. Check. And then we need with XIB for interface. And I'm just going to call this class model.m and also create model.h finish. Whatever. And I'm going to put my model.nib file into resources just to keep things nice and organized. And I'm just going to open up my model.nib file that I just created. Let's open the interface builder. And I'm just going to put on a label so when we actually open this view model, we can see that it's the same view and whatever. This is the model presented view, whatever. Semicolon, save. And then also in our originally created view controller nib file, I'm going to add a button because we're going to have a callback method that opens the model. Open model, I guess, whatever. Alright, and so in my originally created view controller, I'm going to make sure to implement an IB action. I already created it. It's IB action called open model. That's in the .h and then .m. Before we go anywhere, I want to import model.h and of course want to implement our IB action that we just created. And it's called open model. Open model. Okay, so just like what you would do when pushing a view controller onto a navigation controller, you gotta completely initialize this view controller with the nib file. So it's called model. That's the class name that we just created. I'll just call this MVC. I mean, you can name it whatever, the variable, whatever you want. Obviously, model. I'll look in it with nib name, and the nib's named model bundle nil. Okay, so there are a few options we have in terms of the presentation style and the animations and whatnot. So I'm going to show you those right now. They're all properties of these view controllers, or the view controller that you just created. So mvc.model, and if you type in model and press escape, you can see some of the properties you can set. So I'm going to start off with model presentation style, and let's just see what the options we have here are. So if you type in UI model, you can and press escape, you can see a whole bunch of stuff. So UI model presentation, current context, UI model presentation, form sheet. The form sheet just it takes up part of the screen. It's a little bit smaller than page sheet and full screen. Full screen obviously takes up the whole screen, and page sheet is just a little bit smaller than that. I'm not completely sure what current context is, but anyway, let's just go ahead and show you page sheet. I mean, you can try whatever one you want, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And then also we have some other properties we can do. Transition style, this is going to be the animation that is used when the model's opened. So let's see what options we have there as well. So we have cover vertical. That just means it slides up from the bottom. It's kind of cool looking. Cross dissolve, a little bit hard to explain. Flip horizontal, it just flips horizontally. And partial curl. Actually, that's only available in the iPad, I know. And it's kind of like the page turning animation. It's kind of cool, but looks a little bit corny for a lot of applications. But let's just use the cover vertical. I kind of like that one. And then there's the last thing you need to do to present it, and that is self, using this model view controller as the delegate, kind of. Present model view controller, and then the UI view controller that we just created, and animated yes. If you set animated no, it won't use the transition style or anything, because that's, yeah. And then make sure to close those brackets. Now in interface builder, we need to make sure to use our callback method, or else nothing will happen when you click the button. So open model, and we're just going to bring it over to our button here and touch up inside, just so anytime they click on that button, basically it does what we want. So I'm going to build and run in simulator 3.2. It's opening, takes a little while. Okay, here it is. Okay, so here's our model view controller, viewcontroller.imh, with our button. If we click the button, the thing slides up from the bottom, and this is our modelly presented view controller. And you can see with the label. Let's just try another form type. Let's see, so page sheet, let's try a form sheet. And let's, yeah, whatever. Not going to change the transition style. Alright, so the form sheet, as you can see, just covers a small area of the screen. The label's a little bit off of the form sheet right now. Let me just try to rotate the hardware. There we go. So yeah, that's about all you have. You can also, when you're ready, like say you have a button within the model.in, you can actually use a callback method, and you can call this method. You can do self dot, what is it? Parent view, no, well, whatever. So yeah, you get the point. There's a method called dismiss model view controller, which obviously dismisses the view controller. So thanks for watching, and yeah, check out my blog, my Twitter. Alright, bye.